Welcome to the Trump Breaking News Network, your daily source for up-to-the-minute Trump news. Join us today and every day. Here's today's news.
This is TBNN.
Trump abruptly orders 46 Obama-era prosecutors to resign. By Charlie Savage and Maggie Haberman. The Trump administration moved on Friday to sweep away most of the remaining vestiges of Obama administration prosecutors at the Justice Department, ordering 46 holdover United States attorneys to tender their resignations immediately, including Preet Bharara, the United States Attorney in Manhattan. The firings were a surprise, especially for Mr. Bharara, who has a reputation for prosecuting public corruption cases and for investigating insider trading. In November, Mr. Bharara met with then-President-elect Donald J. Trump at Trump Tower in Manhattan and told reporters afterward that both Mr. Trump and Jeff Sessions, who is now the Attorney General, had asked him about staying on, which the prosecutor said he expected to do. But on Friday, Mr. Bharara was among federal prosecutors who received a call from Dana Boente, the acting Deputy Attorney General, instructing him to resign, according to a person familiar with the matter. As of Friday evening, though some of the prosecutors had publicly announced their resignations, Mr. Bharara had not. A spokesman for Mr. Bharara declined to comment. Sarah Isgur Flores, a Justice Department spokeswoman, said in an email that all remaining holdover United States attorneys had been asked to resign, leaving their deputy United States attorneys, who are career officials, in place in an acting capacity. Continued reading the main story. As was the case in prior transitions, many of the United States attorneys nominated by the previous administration already have left the Department of Justice, she said in the email. The Attorney General has now asked the remaining 46 presidentially appointed U.S. attorneys to tender their resignations in order to ensure a uniform transition. The abrupt order came after 2 weeks of increasing calls from Mr. Trump's allies outside the government to oust appointees from President Barack Obama's administration. Mr. Trump has been angered by a series of reports based on leaked information from a sprawling bureaucracy, as well as from his own West Wing. Several officials said the firings had been planned before Friday. But the calls from the acting Deputy Attorney General arose a day after Sean Hannity, the Fox News commentator who is a strong supporter of President Trump, said on his evening show that Mr. Trump needed to purge Obama holdovers from the federal government. Mr. Hannity portrayed them as saboteurs from the deep state who were leaking secrets to hurt Mr. Trump. It also came the same week that government watchdogs wrote to Mr. Bharara and urged him to investigate whether Mr. Trump had violated the emoluments clause of the Constitution, which bars federal officials from taking payments from foreign governments. In Mr. Hannity's monologue, he highlighted the fact that the Clinton administration had told all 93 United States attorneys to resign soon after he took office in 1993, and that nobody blinked an eye, but he said it became a scandal when the George W. Bush administration fired several top prosecutors midway through his second term. Several Democratic members of Congress said they only heard that the United States attorneys from their states were being immediately let go shortly before the Friday afternoon statement from the Justice Department. One senator, speaking on the condition of anonymity to protect the identity of the United States attorney in that state, said that an Obama-appointed prosecutor had been instructed to vacate the office by the end of the day. Although it was not clear whether all were given the same instructions, that United States attorney was not the only one told to clear out by the close of business. The abrupt nature of the dismissals distinguished Mr. Trump's mass firing from Mr. Clinton's, because the prosecutors in 1993 were not summarily told to clear out their offices. Michael D. McKay, who was the United States attorney in Seattle under the George Bush administration, recalled that even though he had already made plans to leave, he nevertheless stayed on for about 3 weeks beyond a request by then Attorney General Janet Reno for all of the holdover prosecutors to resign. He also recalled at least one colleague who was in the midst of a major investigation and was kept on to finish it. "I'm confident it wasn't on the same day," he said, adding, "While there was a wholesale good to see you, thanks for your service, and now please leave, people were kept on a case-by-case basis depending on the situation."
That's the news. Join us here every day. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell. See you next time.
This is TBNN.